Everybody, T-Ham 141 Homestead, the Homestead Centric show. I am Tracy, and oh man, we've got a show tonight. It is going to be fun. I got Thorhaven Farm is already here. Rem from Rem's Family Farm. Remy's going to be here, hopefully. And got some other friends that will probably be stopping in, God willing, the creek don't rise. And tonight we're going to be talking about fake YouTubers, kinda ish, because I don't feel that there are that many. There is a poll at the top of your of the chat that asks what the fake, what percentage you think are intentionally misleading you. And I'm going to go into some stuff today. Richie, he was there. Sorry, they don't understand I'm live. But where was I? I'm going to be getting into some of the stuff that I've got going on, because one of the things that were brought up was, tractors and helicopters and all this really expensive stuff, and how people get there. And we're going to talk about that a little bit, but can you guys hear the cat? Oh my goodness gracious. But we're going to get into that. First, I want to bring your attention real quick down in the bottom of the screen across second annual Eastern Ontario Homesteaders Conference at McDonald's Corners Agricultural Society, May 6th. The address is there in Ontario, Canada. It is going to be May 6th. There are going to be speakers. There are going to be booths. This is a growing event. It's only the second one that's been done. And man, oh man, I really there. All my friends from Canada are going to be there. It's going to be an awesome event. It turns out I'm closer than a lot of my Canadian friends. Who thought Canada was a large country? I think you could fit the United States inside it and have plenty of room to move it around. So that going on. We also have the if it'll come up, there we go, www.than141homestead.com. We have the blog. We have 3 different levels now. 2 weren't enough. We had to go with 3, but I've only got 2 up here on the thing to show. Come on, show it. There we go. We have the basic plan. Let me pause that there. Maybe that'll help. We have the basic plan, which you get about 2 blog posts a month. It costs nothing, but by subscribing, even with the free plan, it's going to help me out when advertisers say, oh, he has X amount of subscribers, we want to advertise with him. We want to you have the Handsteader level, which is 99 cents. And with that, you get access to the Handsteader Facebook page. It's 99 cents a month, I should say. You get access to the Handsteader Facebook page, where you get scenes, content, and more interactions, pretty much direct access to me if anybody would ever want something like that. But and then my niece told me that the credit card company, her credit card company, would not do 99 cents. It had to be $1.99 was like the cheapest that they would go. So there is a Handsteader plus level you'll see. And basically, guys, right now that is the same thing as the Handsteader's level. It's just your credit card might handle it a little easier. You get the same benefits right now. I'm gonna come up with some more better stuff. You get with the Homesteader and the Homesteader Plus Plus. I don't know why I put two pluses on there. You get access to purchase Homesteaders Live Free special merch. I already mentioned the Homesteaders Facebook page, and just all sorts of cool things. I have gone live a couple times on the Homesteaders Facebook page, extra content, behind the scenes content, and I just hope you guys enjoy that. It is getting to the point where I am very close to monetization on YouTube, which will make me rich. No, it probably won't. But let's see. I'm trying to think. I think I did the blog at the thand141home.com. You'll find all my merch, all of my books, and all of the affiliate links. This I have to catch up on. The affiliate links to a lot of the products that I use the most. We're trying to get that going, but at least even if you don't purchase with the affiliate links, it will take you there, and you can see what product I'm using. And then, hey, if you can find it somewhere else cheaper, by all means. I understand frugality. And as Wendy used to say, I understand cheap too. All right, guys, without further ado, I have one more thing I want to bring up, if I can. Hey, Thor, I'm going to bring you up too, but I want to show Annie from Back to Basics Homestead. Good grief, could my computer run any slower? Asked me how my kale was doing, because I asked Bud, there we go, it cleared up. When should I thin them out? And basically it was, I should have only put one seed per cell to begin with. However, I didn't. I wasn't sure. This was seeds that I had collected back in 2021, I believe it was. And I wasn't sure the germination rate, and I didn't want them to get tall and squiggly, kind of like they're looking now, but they've stopped. They've stayed at this level for a few days now. And those grow lights there are, and they are, they use 6 to 7 watts of electricity. And they plug into a cell phone charger, USB charging port. So you can't ask for more than that. And then, okay, now we'll go back to this, and we'll get Darren up here. I think.
What's going on? Hope you're doing amazing tonight.
Why is it? There we go. How's it go? Now you did an awesome video a couple weeks ago. Well, actually, it was a couple weeks ago. Wow,
I can't remember.
I am behind
at least a few weeks
times. It was a spoof on all of these. There was some controversy. There were people saying that there were high profile grid homesteaders that were basically lying about their homesteading situation. And you did a spoof. And
I had to, because it's like, I want to keep
hilarious.
it light and positive and that kind of thing, rather than like attacking others who are trying to achieve the same goals as us. So
had to my fan on. Yeah, you got to keep it positive. You got to keep it light and letting other people even. Now I do ask that hey Dave, that the people I subscribe to, I really like it when they're honest. Okay, there's one I'm still subscribed to them because it's so funny, and I actually have fun trying to find the thumbnail and the title in the video because the government came to my house that I had to leave. Building inspector came because he called them to say, hey, I need this inspected, or I have a they said I can't garden anymore. And it gets clicks. He does good, but you can tell it's kind of implied.
I think I know the channel you mean, and I stopped watching because it was like, the police showed up and arrested me, and no, they didn't actually. So it was like, I think there's a difference between that clickbaity kind of thing and having some sort of thumbnail where you pull viewers in, and then you actually provide good content or that sort of thing, or entertainment or knowledge or something. I usually don't provide much knowledge. I'm like, I just joke around and tell some stories, but
I've learned a lot from your channel.
If I good, if I see ones where it's like that clickbaity, where if you've told me this is happening and you've shown a thumbnail where this is going to happen, and I don't see either of those in your videos, there's a very good chance that I'm not coming back at all to your channel.
Yeah. There's integrity. I mean, there are channels out there that are just for entertainment. It's like, some people tried to, oh Lord, I don't know why you would ever do this, because Appalachia Homestead with Patera, there are some people that tried to call her out about she only had 3 garden beds. And she says, no, I have a lot more than 3. And they're like, well, we only ever see 3 at one time. Well, that's because that's what's in that particular video. And I was really debating with the first time I showed my pantry, because I was always taught you don't show your stores, your preps, because
and that I did the one video about my pantry, and I'm like, okay, anyone watching this, if you promise not to raid me when the SHTF happens, then you can continue watching the video, because it's like, there is security stuff and personal security and that kind of stuff. It's to each their own what you feel comfortable with on that and showing and stuff. So
yeah. And I know Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, they were at one time beefcake.
Hey, leave me out of this.
Who's the beefcake? No, wait a minute. Nobody ever said something like that. Yeah, nobody ever. Now the thing is, is he doesn't put Bridgie in a string bikini or what do they call them? Floss bikinis, getting ready, dipping her toe in there to get people to watch.
You guys don't get to see that. That's from my eyes only.
Absolutely. But I tell you, I remember when there was a video of, it was either a video or just alluding to that when Remy was there and he was in the hot tub with you. I noticed a couple comments. Boy, Remy, you don't know how lucky you are.
Oh,
There
man.
were some girls whose hearts were breaking. But yeah, off grid with Doug and Stacy, they were accused of faking it because someone saw them show up to a I believe it was one of the the homesteaders conferences in a really nice I believe it was a really nice camper, and you know what, I've watched the videos. I was interested in that when I first started YouTube. I've watched the videos. I know about how much there is a guy does going for hey Mahilin. Hey, Remy's here. I'm gonna bring Remy on up.
How are you guys?
There we
Yo,
go.
yo, yo.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good.
But
Let me see. Is it this way?
Trevor and
You
I
bring up
went
an
through this
interesting
guy.
point about the, being able to purchase stuff and that sort of thing. And I think there's 2 points kind of that a lot of people get stuck on when you're looking at YouTube videos and homesteading, and probably a lot of other topics and niches and that sort of stuff. So the one you just touched on is people being able to afford things. The other I'd touch on is people not showing things, or people changing the ask. So when I say that, it would be kind of touching on, like, you didn't show this in your video, or you didn't show
Could
your
you
backyard
say
or
that one
your
more time,
garage.
because you froze up?
Yeah, you froze just before.
You froze. Could you say that last bit one more time?
So that part, so the one would be people purchasing stuff that is expensive or something, which, hey, by all means, if you can afford something and you've done something hard work to earn it, by all means. And the other is maybe not showing certain aspects of your life or farm or wherever you are that people may or may not want to see. So what I mean by that is, you don't show, we've never shown the loft in our garage. It's a disaster. There's nothing you want to see there. It's a mess. And, we clean up the kitchen the odd time we do a baking video. So you can say that's fake or that's not realistic or something like that. But what I reference that to is, how many people clean their house when guests are coming over? Is that fake? Is that not realistic?
No.
Do you invite guests over when you have dirty laundry laying around? Like, if you have laundry that you haven't completed and it's on the couch or something and you haven't got to it, do you leave it there when the guests show up, or do you clean it up? It's the same as anyone doing a video.
Yep.
It's like, you try and want to present the best side of yourself. So having dirty laundry or dirty dishes when I'm in the kitchen doing a bread video, no one wants to see my dirty dishes in the sink. Yeah, of course, everyone's going to clean that up before they do those types of videos. And
I try to cut that out, but the piles get too big.
and buying stuff like has been mentioned in other videos, buying tractors or buying planes or buying a bus or a trailer or a new pickup truck or something like that. I think if you've worked hard for something, the amount of work that goes into producing YouTube videos, it is a lot. We all know that. So if you've worked hard at that, you've worked hard at other jobs, you've invested wisely, you've done well, why should you not be able to purchase things that provide you some happiness. It's hard to say, you know, you're a YouTube homesteader, you should not buy that. Well, why not? I
Yeah.
mean,
Just look at Justin Rhodes.
it's one of those
Yeah.
that I think, I don't know whether people are jealous or people want it for themselves as well, the jealousy or something like that. But it's something like, you know, why do we not want others to have something that is great? Like, I want to see you guys succeed. If you guys are making millions
Absolutely.
and you're buying your own private helicopter or jet or something like that, why not? Good on you. Like, if you guys have done the work and people appreciate seeing your YouTube videos and love you for that, by all means. That's like, so those are my two kind of points on the whole topic.
Yeah.
Now that I've rambled.
Well, no, that's fine. That's exactly. Hey, get the beefcake to talk, and people will come. That's because somebody called him, Remy. I don't know if you saw that. Somebody called him a beefcake in a hot tub. Yes. What happened in the hot tub just got spewed all over the interweb.
I know, eh? Yeah. What happens in Vegas gets photos taken of.
Yeah. Nothing is hidden. But
no.
Yeah, it's like the reason I started YouTubing. Number one is for my grandkids. They will be able to watch my channel for years after I'm gone.
Yeah.
In fact, I have to figure out which one of them is going to be most likely to keep my channel, whether they keep it going or just place for YouTube to send a check, once I'm gone. But I'm assuming I'll be monetized one day. But
you're close.
Yes, I am getting close. But people see the tractor videos, okay, and they're like, "Oh, this guy has money," and I don't. I live on a pension. It is a good. I am disabled through the VA, and from Desert Storm came back and bit me in the butt. Whatever. That's a long story. I can cover it another time if you'd like. But I had a line of credit from the house in Port Leyden that we actually used to buy this property. Now we're renting out and I closed the line of credit because it was a variable interest. And I saw the writing in the sand that said, hey, interest rates are going to, and so I got a fixed interest mortgage on the homestead. I didn't like doing it, but I did it. That allowed me to get totally debt free except for my car payment. And I could have paid off most of the car. Actually, I could have paid off the whole car, but I want to build a barn. So it's given me the finances that I have set aside to build my barn. But then I was doing my build. I'm like, man, I either need a truck or I need a tractor before winter because the snow here this year, I probably could have. We had one really big snowstorm and maybe two smaller ones. There was nothing huge. I probably would have been able to manage without it, but I chose a tractor because my brother told me, he says, hey, I've got a truck. He says, you can use it. We can help you with stuff. Just let me use the tractor once in a while. And that's worked out great. It's helped me. It's helped him. But it's not because I have money laying around and I'm not living. Everything I have has taken years to get here. I want to show real quick. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Okay, I want to show real quick. I got one more picture. This is a picture. Hopefully I brought everybody with me. This is out the window this evening before the sun went down. This is the outhouse that we used for over 2 years. I would show you inside, but I don't go inside the outhouse anymore. Well, in the winter, it probably wouldn't be bad because there are these cool things called spiders that just love that place. They love that place. And I would imagine by now the chipmunks have gotten in there. But we used it long enough where I had I want to say a 4 or 5 foot hole dug, because like everything I do on the homestead, it was temporary. And we filled that, and I had to dig a hole next to it, move it over and cover it up, and now we have indoor plumbing and everything. Some people say, well, gee, you're running these lights behind you, and you got a fan on you, you got a monitor over here, and you got all this stuff running every time we see you. And I have a 1,000 watt solar panel array that I paid $400 used for 4 panels. It was $100 per panel. I have a 60 amp charge controller, which was $178 on Amazon. I have 4 12 volt, 200 amp hour LifePo 4 batteries that cost me $3,131.96 according to Amazon. Then I have an inverter charger that was $639, or actually that's what you can buy it for today. I think it cost me $5 something. But so that's $4,300 in my solar panel, because I use the used solar panels. And one day I plan on upgrading to new ones. Hey, J&B, it is over time, you improve your situation. You don't start out with a pantry full of groceries. You build it up over time. Every time you go to the store, in the back of your head is, okay, what can I get that's going to improve my situation? Yeah, right behind Remy. Yeah. Every time you plant the garden, okay, how long and how am I going to preserve, and how long can I preserve this fruit or vegetable for?
I want to back you up just a sec, Tracy, for the tractor thing. And like, we've got a tractor too. We've got a brand new John Deere. Actually, it's like 3 years old, 4 years old, something like that. But again, so we got quoted $3,000 for someone to come in and plow our driveway. That's a lot of money. Then we looked at, what do we need to do to manage our cows? So we need to move some round bales. So again, a tractor would help out. People have talked about brand new versus used. I don't have $5,000, $10,000 sitting in the bank to go out and buy cash for a used tractor. I don't have the knowledge to fix a used tractor if it breaks. So what I'm saying is, I can't afford a used tractor, which a lot of people view as something that is a lot cheaper. It's not, because you have to pay the entire thing up front. Whereas my John Deere, I've got small monthly payments with no interest, and I've stretched that over 7 years. So for me to pay, I think we pay like $300 a month or something for the John Deere. I'd have to check with Bridget because she handles all that. But for me to pay that amount monthly versus shelling out 5, 10, 15,000 on a used tractor and then try and do the upkeep on a used tractor. For us, it's more affordable to go brand new. So it's one of those perspectives that people think, oh, you can afford a brand new tractor. Well, it's a lot cheaper for us than buying a used tractor.
And there's another point that I could add to all you two are saying is pretty much all homesteaders have a full-time job, or they had in the past. I mean, maybe not all of them, but I don't know many homesteaders that don't have at least one of the two partners with a job, with a full-time job. At work, I'd say 90% of my colleagues go on a trip every year. They go to Cuba, they go to Florida, or they go on a big trip.
Yep.
I don't, because
vacations, Christmas presents, birthday presents, like
and one of the reasons is what you guys are talking about. I mean, you bought a tractor instead of traveling yearly on vacation. Like when we went to the conference last year, I remember you telling me that you haven't been on a real vacation with Brigitte for I don't know how long, and that's just normal now because we have animals to take care of. We are busy 24/7. If we are not at work, we have to work on a homestead. So
and Dave brings up a point. He had the finances, and he is technically proficient to be able to, like some of the stuff he's come up with and created and welded and put together. It's just awesome. I don't have that knowledge or equipment to weld or construct or that kind of thing. So
there's always the unspoken add-ons that you get when you buy a used piece of equipment. You're not only buying that piece of equipment, you're buying all the problems that previous owner and all the stress on that on that vehicle or piece of equipment that previous owner put on it. That if I'm selling something, I'll tell them, hey, listen, man, I had to replace the cracked axle or this or whatever on it, or hey, this is wrong with it, because I'm an honest guy. Not everybody is like that. So you're buying a bunch of problems along with it. And man, went out today to plow this hard ice. That covered
depending on the person, it can be cheaper or more expensive depending on which way they go.
Yeah. But this way, I got a 7-year warranty, have professional support. I can call the dealer, and he told me, he said, hey, you got any problems, we come pick it up for free. He says we try to bring it back, but but I turned the key, the glow plugs came on, the light went off. I turned the key a little more, it started right up. To me, is worth. I pay $430, I think, a month for my tractor. And I am very privileged because of my financial situation, the pension through the VA or whatever you want to call it, disability. I am able to support myself and this lifestyle. I do not believe that homesteading is necessarily cheaper than living normal.
Yes and no.
It's better for you. Yeah.
Depends on how you're doing it, how much you've already invested, where you're at, what if you're trying to be that self-sufficient, or as Chris from Hickorycroft would say, if you're doing the put and take. There's lots of variables.
And like if you're
starting, it's like with,
I was going to say, if you're starting your chickens right now, and you don't have a coop, and you don't have this, and you don't have that, then of course the upfront cost is going to be expensive.
Yeah.
But if you're lucky enough, like I was, to find a shed, second-handed shed, for free that someone was getting rid of, you can put your chickens in. You can find an old feeder or waterer with the stuff you have at home, build something. I can guarantee you that the chickens I raise for meat are cheaper than what you get at the store, and they're a lot
Yeah.
better too, and they're bigger.
We've done the
Yeah,
math,
and better
and
for you.
our meat chickens and our pigs are much cheaper for us to do than purchasing. And I think it comes down to we also do the harvesting and the butchering. So
Yeah.
that really
Right.
makes a big difference versus, say, you have pigs and then you take them to the abattoir or the butcher or that sort of thing to have that done for you. You might be getting close to the same price as buying retail. You probably still might be a little better off, but you're getting closer to that.
When we did our pigs 2 years
Right.
ago, we butchered it. Well, we didn't butcher. We removed all the skin and we gutted the pig. We brought it to the butcher. The butcher did all the cuttings for us. And after I counted all the feed, the pigs themselves when they were young, and everything included, it came to $2.29 a pound. And back in the days, I think it was selling for approximately the same amount in the stores. Now you get better quality, and it was our first year raising the pigs, so you learn as you go as well. So the more you do it, you learn new ways to be more efficient. Find some food somewhere that maybe the food bank is throwing away, or the store is throwing away, or maybe you'll have more family members dropping their kitchen scrap for you, and you end up saving money on the long run and having bigger pigs. You know what I mean? Like, it's the more you do it, the more you learn, and the more efficient you become.
Mhm. Yeah. It's with our pigs. I used to buy 2 pigs. I would sell one and keep one. And by selling that one, it literally paid for the feed for mine and most of the butchering costs. I really liked it, even if I ended up paying like $1.79 or whatever a pound for the meat, it was still well worth it because I knew number one, I had the money because the guy I sold the other pig to handed me the money, and then the pork, I knew everything not everything it ate, because something tells me they get a lot of grubs and stuff like that because they rut up something fierce. But I
Roots and
knew
everything else. Anything else they can dig up.
if
Yeah.
if they needed
The interesting
if they
part of
had
that,
antibiotic.
the interesting part
Go
of
ahead.
that whole thing is, again, if you're not showing something on YouTube, it's not about faking it, or you're not doing it, or something like that. Sometimes it comes down to YouTube's own censoring. So for us, if we want to show the butchering of the cow, the pigs, the rabbits, the chickens,
Okay.
sometimes we got to be very careful with what we show, or else we won't be monetized or demonetized and that sort of thing. So to say that someone's faking it because they didn't show certain aspects of raising their pigs or harvesting their pigs or something like that, you might not know the full story of how YouTube actually reacts to those types of videos.
YouTube has just recently the ante on that. If you show something that an animal dying, or something that implies that animal died, then they can demonetize that video.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
so it's up to the creator whether or not, okay, I'm going to show this for educational purposes, or they can stick an 18 plus. You don't have to. They don't have to ask you to stick a 18 plus 18-year-old or over stamp on your channel, and that could hurt a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why they're doing this, because people want to learn. I mean, I want my kids to see that kind of stuff. It's not like you're not killing someone. You're showing how to properly raise and butcher an animal in safe and,
But however,
and
if you remember Tracy's poll about how many percentage of people are faking it and stuff, I put 10% because I think 10% of the population, no matter what industry, no matter what type of person, no matter what group of people you have, there's 10% who are not on the up and up, we'll say. They may not be evil, but they're not exactly, good. So if you have 10% of videos being put out on YouTube that are not educational, that just show someone killing an animal or something like that, then you're going to run into problems.
Yeah, and our culture has changed in I'm going to say the last 5 years. It's over the last 10.
Become
it's
very
really
sensitive.
Very sensitive, very offended. I mean, there are people.
I'm just going to turn off media, go sit in my rocking chair on the front porch, and just like, get off my grass.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I can't. No one walks on my front yard anyway. So,
if somebody's walking on my front yard, he might catch a knife. Well, it's been kind of cold out, but the other day I had it was a sight, man. I'm telling you. Let me paint you a picture. I had my winter felt rubber boots on and my boxers. It was 40-some degrees when I went out to.
Felt rubber boots?
Felt lined rubber boot, yeah.
Oh, felt lined. I was going to say,
yeah.
Felt rubber boots. Like, okay, felt lined. Gotcha.
Yes, felt lined. Yeah.
Okay.
There's ones at Walmart.
Leaky.
They used to be cheap. But then I had my boxer briefs on, and I went outside and was doing stuff around the yard because it was a beautiful day. And hey, if you got it, sorry,
exactly.
I'll never do that again.
I see you do that first thing. I'll never conference. First thing when you get in the cabin, that's the first thing you do.
After that, I'm going to send you an invite for the hot tub. Hey,
for sure.
I saw a advertisement today on Facebook.
No, don't go there. Just go back into the fake YouTube homesteading.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. You probably saved me there. It was hilarious. Anyway, now.
So what about YouTubers who can afford nice stuff? Should they be chastised for working hard?
Absolutely not. If you can't afford nice stuff, this is my.
We don't always know everyone's situation either. Like, people may have invested at a young age. People may have savings that they've put away. People may have been gifted something from their parents. People may have worked 24 hours a day to get to where they are. So when I hear anyone chastise anyone else for what they can afford or what they've done, as long as you haven't harmed an innocent person, you haven't swindled, you haven't frauded anyone, you haven't done anything like that to, steal something from someone else. And working hard
Mhm.
or doing YouTube videos or that sort of stuff is not stealing from someone else. Like, we all have YouTube
No.
channels. The more we promote ourselves or each other, we can't steal something from anyone else. It just, you know.
Yeah. We went through a period where we had no money. I mean, there was just if there was something that I wanted, if I still wanted it in 3 months, we would start saving for it. But then we started this, and I don't know how much I wanted of it, but it's got my Tide, my Hulu, which is all my internet TV stuff, my insurance, my home phone, my cell phone. The chickens get $100 allowance every month. My credit cards and all my debt. We write all that stuff down, and then this is
Did you
this
just
is
say
my
your
second
chickens
notebook
get an
that I've
allowance?
done. Yes. If they go over $100, they don't eat. No,
Same for the cats.
I budget my chickens $100. When in the summer, I budget the chickens $150 because of the pigs. What that is it's basically to cover their feed, feed blocks, anything I might need for the chickens. And I gotta tell you, it has, when Wendy and I have been out shopping and we didn't have any real disposable money, the chickens bought us lunch a couple times. but everything is my gas. How I put aside for gas is in there. How much I put aside for groceries is in there.
Nice.
And everything. I mean, every bit. I get, now this is going to sound weird, I get $100 allowance every week or every month. That's $100.
The chickens are making more
than
than
that
you.
if you actually factor in all my. Yeah. But that is mine to spend on anything I want. And that went up. It was when I quit smoking, I started taking $50 a month. Wendy, when she quit smoking because the price of cigarettes had gone up, started taking $80 a month. And so now I've just kind of conglomerated hers and mine together, and I get $100 a month. But everything was budgeted. I knew where every penny was. All my bills were paid. If there was money left over, it either went towards something or stayed in the savings. So that,
And you don't put
we
that
would
in
have.
videos. It's not like,
No.
you know, people are
It's nobody's
questioning.
business.
Well,
Yeah.
that's just it. There's a lot of stuff that we are able to share with the public. And there's a lot of stuff that, you know, we don't share with the public because either it's a little too personal or it's a little too personal, really. So
The way I see it is what I show is if someone wanted to start homesteading today and they went to my first video and saw where I was when I started, they can follow my steps, watch my videos and say, okay, this guy was able to find a chicken coop for free. I can look around and find a chicken coop for free. Maybe they have some friends that can go harvest apples, or maybe they'll learn a few things about gardening. Maybe they'll even think about starting a community garden. I don't know. But they're not gonna they don't need to know what happens inside my house. If we have activities with the
Right.
kids, they don't need to know
Yeah.
that. If we go eat McDonald's on a Friday night, or if we go skiing, or if we go well, fishing, I kind of show it anyway, but I mean, I don't show the 6 hours that I'm sitting there playing sandcastles with the kids and trying to find rocks. It doesn't matter because
and
it
I
has
think
nothing to do with
there's
homesteading.
some stuff where if you saw us filling up our seed containers, like the 10 by 20 inch seed starter kits. If you saw me starting up or filling 30 of those up with soil, you'd be bored to death. So not showing that is not something that's fake.
Yeah.
It's just like, we're
No,
not going to bore you with the details of going through all the work to do that.
It's not a Truman Show. You don't get to see me 24/7. It's just what
Right.
it is.
and
I
and
can
there's a
show you
lot of
how to
things.
do it.
You,
I can show you the hot tub. I just haven't figured out how yet.
Just be friend with Darren.
those walks in the woods still got you nervous, huh, Remy?
It all started with a walk in the woods.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still remember Maryland.
But yeah, there are things.
Shooting us in the woods.
There are things like you guys have kids, and there is hey Melissa, there is a protection that you inherently have with the kids. And there are YouTube regulations for what the kids are allowed to do.
That's just
on-
it. That's the other
on
thing
screen.
is, you can't call someone out for being a fake homesteader because they don't show their kids. Well, in a lot of cases, YouTube has situations where they're like, if you're showing the kids too much, you might be flagged or you might be demonetized, or it might just be like your video's gone. So, you got to be very careful, again, what you show. So for someone to look at something and say, you didn't show this, there could be other reasons why that wasn't shown.
Right. It's hard for me because I am very sensitive, like with the tractor and stuff. Maybe I don't go into it as much. That, hey, I've been homesteading my whole adult life in one way, form, or another. I've been gardening my whole adult life. You'd think I'd have it down by now.
And you're
but
also
I
off
don't.
grid.
Yeah, I'm off grid, but I didn't get here overnight. I started, Wendy and I actually started in an apartment with canning. And we had this big, it was a big shelf system in the hallway because it used to be a real big house that they broke up into 4 apartments. And there was this big shelf in the hallway, between the kitchen and the living room, or it was about anyway. But we would fill that shelf with canned goods. Our landlady said, "Hey, yeah, nobody's using that land behind the parking lot, so go ahead, and if you want to garden, go ahead." And
I'm looking at some of the comments, and
so we did.
Dave.
yeah,
It is
and that's just it, Lynn.
Yeah.
Is there's a lot of the times where, we talk about stuff or the kids are shown or something like that, where this little aspect of it, but you don't know this whole part of the story. So, if I started in on my story about having kids when I was 18 and becoming an adult like that, I could write a book on my life, probably about my kids and exes and my history. But it's like I started the YouTube channel for my grandkids, like you said, Tracy, to kind of leave that legacy and to help teach others. And, if I can make some extra money to pay for feed for animals, great. And if someday I do get YouTube rich, freaking awesome. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into the full story of my life or my kids or that kind of stuff. I've already said stuff about my kids that, if you've watched enough of my lives or videos and that sort of stuff, you kind of get an idea of me. But, for someone to say, to chastise someone else for not sharing more information, it's I have a hard time with that.
Yeah, and
You show what you want to show. It's your life.
yeah, it's like with what they said about homesteaders that are off-grid homesteaders showing up in these nice $100,000 campers or whatever. Okay, here's the thing. There's a website of a guy that tows people. He's out west in Utah and stuff. He's Matt's Off-Grid Recovery. I did the math. He makes over $40,000 a month off YouTube. Okay.
Nice.
He would be an idiot, in my opinion, to not live accordingly.
Well, just
now I did a video a while ago about my view, kind of off topic but similar topic, of prepping versus homesteading and modern life. And the topic was survive or thrive. And it's one of those, like, say we take homesteading to the basics, and it's like, okay, what is the basics of homesteading? Raising your own food and that sort of stuff. Are we really going to punish ourselves and try and raise food the way our ancestors did? In some cases, yes, we try and do that. But if we can do it better or more efficiently or more effectively, then there's nothing wrong with that at all. So, let's say growing grain. If we can grow grain on a small scale and harvest it on a small scale effectively, so be it. If we have to do it the old ways, then so be it. But it's like, I don't want to just survive because I'm living this lifestyle. I want to thrive while living this lifestyle.
And if you just look at the TV shows out there, let's take, for example, Alaska Last Frontier. If you watch the first season compared to their season 11 now, they started off with horses and they were living like really, really poor people. And just the TV show itself made them so much money. They all have ATVs now. They have like toilets in their house. They didn't have that before. They have running water. They have From what I heard,
it would be like asking the Inuit up north to say, "Oh, wait, no, you can't have snowmobiles now. All of you have to go back to dog sleds."
Yeah.
Like,
otherwise, you can't call yourself an Inuit. Yeah,
you can't call yourself an Inuit if you're using a.
Yeah,
it's like, really.
The cool thing is they were, I believe, the Alaska, the Last Frontier. I believe that they were comfortable to a point. Number one, I know Jewel is very family oriented, and she is the older brother's daughter. And so I'm sure she helped out a little, but they own a meat store. They sell cattle. That's what they do. They sell beef. And that's, they're all taking them to the head of the bay and all this, and they do stuff on horseback and all, but they're probably about as far away. I want to say Homer, Alaska, but I'm not sure. But they're probably as far away from town as I am. And in the winter, I'm about 25 minutes before I make it to town. To Walmart, which is in the center of town. And the thing is they are homesteading. Now, in a video that kind of interest on this subject, the guy mentioned the TV homesteaders Okay. Now you have to understand TV networks get paid a lot of money for their content. Okay. And if it starts not making as much as it did before, it doesn't have to start losing money, but if it starts lessening on the money it's making, it'll get canceled. And so the producers are under a lot of stress. You think of the Alaskan Bush people. Well, they actually went to court. They were charged with fraud. A couple of them were, because they did not live in Alaska. In Alaska, you get so much money from the oil pipelines, from the government, basically every year. And they took that, but you have to live in this for X amount of months. And
now
they
there's
didn't.
the thing where it's like,
and
you are intentionally misleading people to what you're doing.
yeah.
You know, which is totally different from cleaning my kitchen before I do a bread making video.
Yeah.
I'll
Right.
be right back. I just gotta arrange something.
Okay.
Make sure the boys are picked up from hockey.
Okay. And then the Homestead Rescue. The guy from I can't even think of his name. The guy from An American Homestead, they offered the Rainies, they offered him that position to do the show before they offered it to the Rainies, and they were ready to sign contracts, and then they started getting silly with it a little bit. He wanted to do more of an educational show. They wanted more of a dramatized show. From what this is from what he says. And then they said, yeah, can you get rid of the beard? Because he has one of those big bush beards. And he said, no, I'm not getting rid of the beard. But it fell through because he wanted it to be more educational. Hey, this is how we do this stuff, and helping people. And they wanted to have the drama in there. Like, we've got 7 days to do this, or we can't get the stuff in, the lumber in here, so we have to fly it in by helicopter. And all that doesn't cost them very much to fly it in with helicopter, because they're giving exposure to the helicopter company.
I personally answered that question in one of my videos, Melissa. And the answer was precisely what we're all talking about. I'd be homesteading. The only difference is, if I didn't have to go to work to pay for my house and, my kids' education and whatever, sports and all that, I'll be homesteading 24/7, or maybe just, I should say, full time. I still need my sleep, but I'd be doing it better, more efficiently, and I still be growing my own food. I'd probably buy a property somewhere and get everything. Not everything, because I would love to have a piece of land with woods where I could go and do some maple syrup and stuff like that, but have a little part where I could just go and build a big, huge garden and garden as much as I can. To answer Lynn's question, I don't even know if you're still there, Tracy, or you just put me on spot. But anyway, I don't.
No, I'm still here. I just put.
Okay, you put me on the spot. So yeah,
Sorry.
For me, I would still be doing the same thing. But to answer Lynn's question, I think it's not necessarily that people were complaining about that specific subject. It's just, I don't know, unless I didn't hear everything. But they say that people don't show everything, so we're faking. But we can't show everything. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah. It was a video put out about off grid, and the guy was he kind of basically he painted everyone with a very broad brush, saying, you know, you've got the guys who are flying in lumber with helicopters, and then you've got people that don't actually live in their cabins, and I'm sure that's happened somewhere. I don't know of any hand that I just feel like they're faking, because as the channel grows, so there's their method. As far as the question, I think it was Melissa asked if I had more money, what would I be doing? Probably the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe
Same
a
thing.
little easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to think, and I have been thinking, this topic has actually helped me, because when I do get to the point where I've got, you know, a brand new F-150 driveway all paid for and everything, or what,
I can afford an
no?
older truck. No, because the new ones are like, they've got all those bells and whistles and beeps and honks.
Oh
and,
no, I'd get
you know,
the LT. Is it LT or XLT? That's just the base.
I don't know. I
Just
go
the
like
base model.
like even older, so it doesn't even have fuel injection. I'd just go like, you know,
Ooh, yeah.
something where the government can't
Something
turn my
EMP
vehicle
worthy.
off. Something where an EMP
Yeah.
can't turn my vehicle off. And, you know, something where if I open the door and the keys are still in the car, it doesn't beep at me or doesn't yell at me.
Or everything with the battery that when you get close to your car, you can't even unlock the door because the battery's dead.
Yeah. You gotta sign into a website to give your car a new feature. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need my car to email me. I do like
However,
Tracy,
I do
you
like
haven't left
having
the house
that
in 5 days.
display where I can hook my phone up and have the navigation, because I drive a lot for work. So when I get those rental vehicles and they've got the display there and I can just watch that instead of the map on my phone, I like that.
Yeah.
Everything else, forget it.
Well, that's one of the things. I mean, you can see where is it? I'll try to bring it up. Oh, that's logo. Oh, I don't have a picture. Oh,
Dave
there
just
it is.
mentioned his El Camino. Dave, yeah, if you can will your El Camino to me, I'd be like forever in your debt. You would get extra hot tub time with me.
Oh, that's worth it. That's trust me, it's worth it.
The hot tub, not the pool.
Yeah, the pool, no way.
Yeah, not many people get rich, but
no.
With that extra cash, see, I'm privileged as far as, you know, I have a steady income, but I can spend a week on the homestead without leaving. I make a living by making a living here, but I think the independence that Remy and Darren and all my other homesteading friends can begin to find. Annie, she quit her job. She took the chance, and she's literally doing it and raising kids and a husband and homesteading alone. I think
thankfully I don't have to raise a husband.
Yes. And we all know Bridget's more mature than you are, so.
Yes.
She
does. I don't.
I still think I will always be frugal to a point. I just planted the kale. And I bought a new thing. It was on clearance because they're trying to get rid of last year's stuff, and I bought that container thing that's got it's reusable, and it's got the rubber on the bottom where you can push your things up, and then you can reuse it. The planting seed planter thing, but that's reusable. But as I get stuff like that, I want to try to stay attuned to people who have to who say, hey, listen, I can't afford $6 right now. You know, I'm at the point where I'm living out of I'm doing this real. I'm living out of my pantry because I can't afford to go buy X amount of groceries every month or every week or whatever. So how do I do this? I want to keep it real and doing things that way. It was the bushcraft, it was the old timey stuff that really led me into the homesteading direction, because I wanted to know how to survive. Yeah, still be homesteading, but big. I think some of the content might be different. I was talking with Remy the other day about the tractor. I don't want to be a tractor guy. I don't know enough, to be perfectly honest. I am not. I hate turning wrenches. I hate trying to fit these fat fingers in tight spots. I don't want to be a tractor
I'm a sales
guy.
rep,
However,
and not a mechanic.
yeah. But some of my best videos, I mean, that video on just fixing the road out here is in just a couple days has got 230 some views on it. And I'm like, well, that's really good for me. But I don't want to be the tractor guy. I don't want to be the generator guy. I want to be the guy with, gee, let's see if video on this, because he's going to tell me how to do it. But by the same token, in order to get the hours, you got to throw so much of the stuff that people want. Maybe the quality would be better because I would have more time and energy. Yeah. I've got the utmost respect for
invest
people
in
who
yourself, invest in the farm, that kind of thing. And I mean, that's not to say that someone would not be allowed to invest in other stuff. Like if I had some extra money laying around, I'd have an Aston Martin like that. But I don't have the extra money laying around. So it's like, yeah.
I've actually never seen any. I've heard about extra money, but I've never seen any. And I don't know why. I think it's because I spend it as fast as I get it.
Guilty.
And yeah,
100,000 for a truck. It would have to be diesel, crew cab, dually, all the bells and whistles, fifth wheel, nice leveling kit or raised up a bit. It would have to have a couple of those chips in it as well. It would have to be done up for $100,000 truck. No more.
I would need one of those bus style mobile homes.
Yeah, and if that diesel dually crew cab came with a stock trailer as well, so I could move cows and other animals. Hey, even living quarters in that stock trailer. I don't think those exist. I think you can get a horse trailer with living quarters, but not a stock trailer. Maybe you can.
Yeah.
And what I can say about that, Lynn.
Well,
if I may just add, what I can say about that is, if people really want to support us, they don't even have to like our stuff. They can just put it on TV when you go do the grocery. Put the TV on. Put one of our playlists on. Go do your things. You don't even have to watch. Just put it on. Let it play.
Yeah.
I won't be
You
a
want to
fan.
support me but don't like me? Here's what you can do.
No, but I mean, I have a cousin that doesn't really care about that kind of stuff. And he's like, what can I do to help you? I'm like, well, just watch my videos, give me a thumbs up. And if you don't want to watch, take that 5 minutes to go pee and grab a snack and come back and watch something else.
Yeah.
He's like, okay.
Yep.
And then he sends me a message the next day. He's like, now I have homesteading stuff all over my YouTube now. Because of you. Like, yeah, well, that's nice to say.
And that's the funny thing about
Right.
YouTube is like the analytics are crazy sometimes, because I'll watch a video based on what the video is. It doesn't mean I like the topic. It doesn't mean I like the subject. It doesn't mean I like that whole genre or niche. It's just I wanted to watch that one video. And then after that, it's like, oh, here's another one to watch. Here's another one to watch. I'm like, what? No. Maybe if I watched
My brother
5
told me
or
the other day, he
6.
says, yeah. My brother told me the other day, he says, yeah, sometimes, Tracy, I got to admit, I put one of your videos on and go to the bathroom. And thank you.
Yeah.
He says, that wasn't a compliment. He said, no, but it helps.
Yep. Exactly.
I can't believe there are over 800 people interested enough in my lifestyle to make the effort to hit a subscribe button. And then there are some people who might even hit the notification bell. That's a lot of work for what I put for it, because in my opinion, this is just life. This is just the way I live. And that's very humbling. And you're in the 2000 2.3, is it, or 2.5?
Yeah, I think I'm 2.3 right now.
Yeah.
And Remy's at 2.4, I think.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome to think that many people are interested in what we do. We're not professional filmers. We're not we're just trying to like she said, JMB said, we got to keep the skills and knowledge alive. There is a whole generation.
True. That's the hugest part of this is gonna kind of deep dive here for a sec. Yeah, but I saved a whole bunch of stuff on my computer of basically how the Norwegians, the Norse, some of the old ways on how they harvested pine trees. So when they go look at stuff like old churches, old like even what was it, Notre Dame that burned down in France, when they take a look at those old buildings that have been there for thousands of years, so they started to analyze that, and there's been stuff where it's handed down from generations. So basically I downloaded all this information on how they do that. And what it is basically they take the pine trees and they score them in the winter. So they take off part of the bark. So you have a round pine tree. I'll do it from like kind of the top or bottom. And you score this side, and this side. And you still leave a bunch of bark. So then the rest of that pine tree starts producing more of, I forget what it's called, but like the sap and stuff. So more of that goes into the tree, into those places where it's been scored. And then the following year, they do the other sides. And then the following year, they do the rest of it. So after like 3 years or 4 years, I forget what it is. I think it's 3 years. Then in winter, they cut that down. And then that tree has so much of that, as Tammy said, the resin in it, that tree is basically good for 1,000 years, 2,000 years. It's got so much of that preservative and so much of that resin in it that it's able to withstand the elements. So it's a really neat way to be able to look at stuff and just kind of pull the old ways into building new stuff. Whereas now what we do is we go out, we cut as much lumber as possible, and then we sell it out onto the market. We pressure treat it, that kind of thing. Whereas if you take the time and patience and learn these old ways, oh man, it is so much better than pressure treating. And it lasts so much longer.
Yeah,
there's so many of the
absolutely.
old ways. I would deep dive right into that, where it's like, people keep talking about more technology to better clean the environment or not have pollution. And, we need more technology. We need more minerals. We need more of this to make the world better. No, what we need to do is go back in time and start teaching some of these old skills. And yes, there are old skills that were bad for the environment, but if we can analyze what was done with that, what was bad, what was good, and then take that skill and move forward, knowing what was good, knowing what was bad. Shipbuilding, if we built new modern wooden ships, but, we didn't coat them in tar while they're in the water. So it's like, knowing the good stuff and knowing the bad stuff and taking that old technology and making it new is so much better to me than trying to develop new technology and mining new minerals for wind and solar and that kind of stuff, which does have its place. But, there's my little rant.
Yeah, that's fine. I agree 100%, man. It's Lynn said it's shocking to me how many people have no idea how or where their food comes from.
It's so
and how it gets to the store. I watched a girl on, I don't remember, it was a video on Facebook or YouTube, but she literally said, you don't have to hunt. Go to the store and buy your meat so no one can die.
I mean, if I knew how to grow tacos, I'd be like,
I mean, I tried planting bacon seeds. It didn't work.
Planting which?
Bacon seeds. Didn't work.
Bacon seeds, yeah. I can tell you how to get bacon seeds, but you got to let me film it when you try to get it.
No, that's good.
Just like the boar isn't happy with you,
just like the Aaron was saying, just look at the roads. Now we have paved roads, and as soon as the snow starts melting, everything is like, we have like big holes everywhere. We ruin our cars on them. Back in the days, you can go to the old Boston or the old Montreal, old Quebec. They have roads that were built in the 1600s.
Yep.
They're still going strong. Why?
And it still survives the frost, the snow plowing.
Yep. Why?
I wish I had it for fire in the wheel. I thought you did. Cherries are donut.
That would be awesome.
All right. I'm going to have to get me some glazed Cheerios.
Yes. Yep.
We watched a video where a woman was so excited to find jack-o'-lantern pumpkin, and her husband could not convince her they don't grow with the face.
We're getting really off topic here, but you guys have seen
we are
where it's you know, the guy with his girlfriend, and he's like, you know, how many slices can you eat? And she's like, wow, it was something like she can only eat 2 slices. And well, what if I cut it into 4? Well, I can't eat 4 slices. Like, it doesn't matter the size, it's just how many slices, right? So there, and half the time, again, you don't know if these are actually fake just for our entertainment, or people are really, you know,
That dumb.
yeah,
I said it.
yeah.
An American
Guys.
Homestead's got that T-shirt. An American Homestead's got that T-shirt. That stupid should hurt. And if stupid hurt, there'd be a lot.
I'm
less
pretty
dumb in
sure
the
we're
world.
all in agreement that a lot of warning labels should be taken off stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't try to stop the chainsaw with your hands. You might get cut.
Yeah. Dumb hurts. Or is it stupid hurts? Something like that.
It all hurts.
They both should hurt. If it hurt, there'd be a lot less of it in the world. That's a fact.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, you know, I did a skit one day where I went in the pantry and I'm like, it was on my off-grid lighting.
So you were
And
faking
I'm
it.
like, I'm like, where I can't, yeah, I can't find the matches. Where are the matches? And Wendy went in the pantry and she turned on. She said, just turn on the light. I'm like, this is an off-grid video, you know. But I made sure everybody knew that was which.
Right.
Hopefully they knew. Yeah, drumsticks with Beth. Like,
oh man, that reminds me too. Most of you know, those who follow me and my friends, I was just out west for a week and a half traveling Alberta and Saskatchewan for business. And I'm driving and I was dying laughing because out west there are so many signs for stuff that, you know, is like this kind of thing. So one of the signs was, stop killing buffalo for their wings. I was like, seriously? That is awesome. I wanted to stop and take a picture, but I was on like a highway and I just couldn't. But I was like, I needed to take a picture of that. But there were so many of those signs out west that where it was just like, stop killing buffalo for their wings. I was dying.
There are some videos of what we used to do as kids in the 70s that
I'm
of it would be very illegal.
There is no videos of me as a kid.
Yeah, my mom's like, I know a lot more about what you did than you think I do. I'm like, you know exactly what I want you to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even that got me in trouble.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy what parents know. And now I look at, you know, with my kids and my stepkids, I'm like, yeah, you know, I know what's going on. Yeah, and now I'm thinking, oh my God, my parents knew freaking everything.
All the things you're trying to hide from me now,
yeah.
I've done them all, so you can't.
Yeah.
Can't bullshit.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Oh. You want to put water in my alcohol?
Guys, Darren...
Don't do it. Just drink it. Don't kill it with water.
That's wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Water. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Darren, you're going live tonight?
Yeah. So I'm going to go live in half an hour and talk about how we actually raise enough meat for a year, how we do all our meat. We haven't bought meat from a grocery store since April 2021. So I'm going to talk
Wow,
about that, talk about our process, how we do it, tools, what you need, any questions that need to be answered on that.
I was able to do it through hunting and fishing, but not
Sweet.
by raising my own animals. And therefore, this year I only got a quarter of a moose, and I'm not going to have enough for a year. So I'm going to need to find another solution soon.
Aw.
It's getting crazy out there to have to go into a grocery store. Like we've been going in we still have to go into the grocery store for our dairy. We still buy like peanut butter, coffee. We still buy a bunch of bread because I cannot make enough bread to be able to feed 3 boys for, breakfast, snacks, and lunches. So there's a lot of things that we still buy from the grocery store. Meat is not one of them. And we haven't really bought vegetables either. So that's kind of nice as well.
Yeah, we buy potatoes. That's all we buy because
Yeah.
we
We
ran out.
have bought potatoes, and this year for us, I think we're going to switch it up, not plant any potatoes whatsoever, but go to around us. There are so many farms growing potatoes that we can go to a potato farm and buy like one of those big 50-pound bags of potatoes and throw it down in the cold room. And we're better off than taking garden space to try and grow all our potatoes. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And now, Remy, you go live tomorrow night.
Yep, with Robert from Homestead Aquarius,
Cool.
and we're going to talk about the changes in the upcoming season of Shed Wars that is now called. Well, I'm gonna let you watch Robert's video because I don't remember the new name, but it's more representative of what we do in Shed Wars actually. So it's going to be easier for people to find us, which is a good thing.
So
I think
it's
what you
not-
need to do, Remy, is have a live just with now I'm trying to remember the name of his volleyball with the onions in it.
Wilson.
Wilson. Yeah, you need to do a live just with Wilson.
Yeah. I tried once. It's not chatting too much.
No?
He doesn't like talking. He doesn't like being in public.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I'm going to give everyone here kind of a little scoop that I've been trying to work on. I don't know if I have the exclusive yet, but I might have a live coming soon with Fred.
Oh,
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
lucky
So,
you.
Nice.
We'll
Fred,
see if I
that's
can.
from Hickory Croft Farm.
Yeah, I'll see if I can nail that interview down with Fred, but that might happen.
Imagine Fred and Mr. Wilson together.
Exactly. Yep.
All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close this down because Darren, you need to get ready for your live, and I won't be there. All right, so everybody at 8 p.m. Eastern, Thorhaven Farm, and then tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Right, Remy?
Yep.
Eastern. Rem's Family Farm has their live. Yes, the Fred from Hickory Croft Farm.
Yeah. I'm not making any promises because Fred hasn't, given me a definite yes or no yet, but
It's
it
hard
is a
to get hold of him.
it is a possibility.
I hope Chris and Steph can convince him to come to the conference also. That would be fun.
Yes.
To have him at the
Yeah.
conference would be
Can
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Yes. That would be epic if we could have Fred at the conference and do an interview with Fred at the conference. Yeah.
I wonder if I could shake his hand.
Oh no, gleaning
Oh, you
doesn't
could.
count as forage.
What doesn't count?
Cleaning.
What? Cleaning doesn't count as faking it?
Gleaning when you
Gleaning.
go through somebody's
Gleaning. Okay,
No,
gleaning is
as
Gleaning?
it doesn't count as foraging.
What's
yeah, when the
gleaning?
farmers go through the potato fields and harvest,
Yeah.
it's when you go behind the farmers
Oh.
and pick up what they left.
Yeah.
actually it
We
would
wanted to
So,
do
like-
this the past year, and Bridget's aunt has done it before, and it's crazy. There's so many potatoes out there.
if you ask them and they're
Yeah.
allowing you to go.
Yeah.
Tammy and Melissa,
I-
it would count for Shed Wars
I think it's called scavenging, though.
because you're not stealing and it's something you're doing legally and it's free. So if you go there and you ask them and they allow you to do it, you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's awesome because
Yeah,
a lot of them are just like, yeah, whatever. And there's so many potatoes. If you sit there and watch, it's just like the potatoes are just falling off the crates. And it's like, oh, man, there's a year supply of potatoes just in that field right there.
yeah, yeah.
I'd even be like, okay,
All right,
I'm going to go
guys.
in and harvest everything we can and give you like a quarter back or a half back or something like that. Like,
Yeah. And I know in Israel, gleaning was a thing. The women, the widows, and the poor could go out behind the threshers and glean. And with Ruth, Boaz told his harvesters, he says, make sure when you see her gleaning in the field, the row that she's working on, make sure you leave extra for her, because apparently she was hot. Yep. But
she was a babe.
swing. I don't know. Yeah. Well, she was a Moabite priestess. So, those Moabites, they didn't play around. I gleaned so many my first year. Now my kids won't eat potatoes.
Oh, man.
Just do French fries.
Yeah.
We'll
We got
talk
one
to
of
you
those
later.
French fry
I'm gonna
makers.
Go ahead and
They are awesome.
right.
Yeah.
I can't wait to have some real Canadian poutine when I get up there for the conference.
Oh,
You're in for a treat.
yeah. Yep. Yeah, you'll order some at some
All right,
restaurant, and
guys.
me will be like,
Thank
oh
you
my
for
God,
being
no,
here.
not the shredded cheese.
The cheese.
Shredded cheese. No.
Wait, they had shredded for
Yeah,
poutine. I
there's
thought
some
it was
places
cheese
that-
curd.
Yeah, it's got to be cheese
Oh.
curd because there's some places that are like, yeah, here's our poutine, and it's like, it looks like spaghetti, and you're like, what? What is this? No, ew.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
that's craziness.
Yeah.
'Cause
All right,
I
Tracy, well,
like
you've-
the kind that they do here at the Hideout.
You've tried to leave
What's
us
that?
like,
You froze for a second.
I was gonna say, all right, Tracy, you
Yeah.
tried to like finish this up like 10 times, and we keep interrupting you. So like, you can go ahead and cut us off now.
No,
we,
no,
you.
that's all right.
Take care, everyone.
Under the bus.
Have a great night. If you're
Yeah,
available, I'll see
we'll
you
see
in
you
like
later,
20
folks.
minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Have a great day. And God bless.